The stars above the neutral zone shimmered like fireflies in a vast sea of black ink. The ship Sol's Grace hovered silently in low orbit over the shattered moon of Alvaris, a monument to a war long past but never truly forgotten. Aboard the vessel stood Commander Aidan Cross, a decorated officer of Earth's unified diplomatic corps, known not for his combat achievements, but for his unshakable empathy in some of the galaxy's most delicate negotiations. Tonight, however, he was not here to sign treaties or prevent a skirmish. He was here for someone. Princess Lyri of the Varellan Empire, a reclusive, once hostile alien civilization known for their striking physical grace, voice-modulating masks, and ethereal beauty, had requested a private meeting. She had been Earth's fiercest critic during the treaty accords but had grown curiously silent after Aidan's final address months ago, where he'd spoken not of dominance or superiority, but of shared pain and the hope of coexistence. That same night, he'd received a secure message directly from her. No protocol, no official channels, just 5 words. "Do you mean it, human?" And now here they were. The room was dimly lit with soft violet hues that matched Varellan ambient light levels. Aidan stood before her, watching her masked figure, a sculpted visor of silver, adorned with glyphs of her noble house, seated quietly on the other side of the crystalline table. He swallowed the lump in his throat. "You asked me to come alone." She nodded. "Because no one else could witness this." Middle. He waited. She seemed nervous. For a being of her rank and training, that was strange. Varellan royalty were bred to be serene, unwavering. "Do you know," she began, her voice still modulated through her mask, soft and harmonic, "why we wear these masks?" Aidan tilted his head slightly. "Cultural tradition. Identity concealment in warfare." She gave a soft laugh. "Those are the reasons we tell others. But the truth is less noble." She stood and walked toward him, each step silent, calculated. The Varellan gene pool was altered generations ago in an attempt to perfect beauty. Our ancestors thought flawless faces would bring order and awe to the galaxy. But the gene splicing failed. Some of us were born deformed. Others, like me, were born with features too alien even for our own kind to accept. Aidan blinked. "But all the images we've seen are filtered, enhanced. Sculpted masks project what we're expected to be." She stopped inches from him. "I am heir to 1,000 stars," she whispered. "But I've never once been seen. Truly seen." And then, with trembling fingers, she reached up and unclasped her mask. For a moment, Aidan expected something grotesque. Some disfigurement or horror that would make the galaxy turn away in revulsion. But when the mask clicked free and fell softly into her palm, all he could do was exhale. She was different, yes. Her skin wasn't the smooth silver of the images Earth had seen. It was mottled with shifting patches of lavender and obsidian, iridescent but uneven. Her eyes were large and asymmetrical, one a swirling teal, the other a faint glowing pink. Her jaw was sharper than a human's, with ridges that traced down her neck like molten glass frozen mid-drip. But she wasn't monstrous. She was real. Vulnerable. She looked away almost instantly. "I understand if you can't." "Lyri," he said gently, stepping closer. "Look at me." She hesitated, then met his gaze. "You're beautiful," Aidan said simply. She blinked, a slow, uncertain motion. "You don't mean that. You're conditioned to say." "I've met diplomats who spoke 10 languages and meant none of them," he interrupted. "But when I said I believed in coexistence, meant it. Meant you. Even if the galaxy doesn't know how to look beyond its own reflection." Tears welled in her mismatched eyes. One shimmered down her cheek, refracting the light like a prism. "I've spent my life being a symbol, Aiden," she said. "A lie told to unify broken worlds. But you looked at me just now, not as a project, not as an ally, but as me." He reached out and took her hand, strangely jointed, softly scaled, yet warm. "I see you," he said. "And I'm not looking away." Climax. Suddenly the comms channel sparked. "Commander Cross," came the urgent voice of his second-in-command. "We're picking up cloaked Varellan warships moving into formation. They've surrounded Ulvaris. Are you safe?" Leary stiffened. "No," she murmured. "They wouldn't. They were tracking you," Aiden realized. "They think you're defecting. They think I'm betraying the bloodline," she whispered, stepping back. "My mother must have. She never trusted my silence." Another message came through, this time on an open channel. "Princess Leary of House Varellan, you are hereby commanded to return to the royal fleet. Do not trust the human. He has contaminated your thoughts." Aiden gritted his teeth. "Contaminated? They think affection is infection now." Leary turned to him. "They'll attack your ship. They'll wipe it out and claim it was a misunderstanding, just like they've done before. What if we broadcast this meeting?" Aiden said. "Show the galaxy that you're not some illusion behind a mask. That this us is real." She shook her head. "They'll intercept the signal before it reaches beyond the blockade." Aiden clenched his fists. "Then let me go with you." She looked up, shocked. "To the Royal Armada? You'd be executed." "Not if I go as your consort," he said slowly. "Is that even a thing?" Her lips twitched into a soft smile. "It is. But it hasn't been invoked in 400 years. Then let's bring it back." "But you don't know what you're agreeing to. My world is poison to your kind. Our palace is beneath a star that emits radiation lethal to humans." He stepped closer. "Then we find a way. Or we change the rules." Silence fell between them, broken only by the gentle hum of the engines and the distant pulse of the alien fleet. Then Leary raised her hand and pressed her palm to his cheek. "You mad, reckless human. Is that a yes?" "It's an I love you," she whispered. Ending. The following days were a whirlwind. Aiden stood before the assembled council of Varellan nobility, wrapped in a protective suit designed by Leary herself. His presence was not welcomed, but it was legal under an archaic clause Leary invoked with strategic brilliance. She stood beside him, not in a mask but with her true face. Her declaration shook the empire. "I am no longer your doll behind a visor," she said to the crowd. "I am your future. And this human, this imperfect mortal being, has shown me more honor than 1,000 suitors with flawless skin." Outrage, disbelief, and eventually silence. Because her courage echoed deeper than bloodlines. Eventually acceptance followed. Not from all. Not at once. But enough. Years passed. The Varellan Empire began to open, slowly, cautiously. Joint embassies were founded. Genetic purity laws were rewritten. Love, once hidden behind sculpted masks, was allowed to be strange, beautiful, and free. And on a quiet day beneath the twin moons of Varela Prime, a statue was unveiled in the central plaza. It showed a woman with an alien face and mismatched eyes holding hands with a man in human garb, both looking skyward. The plaque beneath read, "Let them see you as you are, and let them love you anyway."